Hey guys, rxlyaT or Taylor here, and today I'm back with another Division video. I've been really excited to do this. I did these on the lead up to the Division 1 game, and being able to do them for the lead up of the Division 2 has me super excited and super stoked for the game. So this video is going to be a roundup of all of the past couple of weeks news and possibly some of my opinions if they're needed. But guys, welcome back to the Division news series. So the first story we have is about the beta sign up. The beta sign up was actually record breaking for Ubisoft. It received over 4 times the amount of registrations than it did the original game. And the registration process has only been live just over a month now, which is absolutely astonishing. Now Ubisoft haven't detailed anything about the beta. All we know is that there is going to be a beta. We have no release date whatsoever, but if it's anything like the Division 1, then it could well be the start of next year. Who knows, fingers crossed, hopefully it's before then. If you haven't signed up for the Division 2 beta, then make sure you visit the link in the description below, and it'll take you straight through to the registration page. Select your choice of console, and hopefully you'll be able to play the beta once it's live. It felt like I said beta, God knows what, how many times in that sentence. Now, do you remember with the Division 1, if you had it on Xbox, you would get the DLC 30 days before? Now, if you were like me and you were on Xbox One, then it wasn't a big problem, because like I said, you got the DLC before anyone else. That's going to change for the Division 2. Julian Gretti actually said there's going to be no platform timed exclusives. This really did divide the community, especially depending on what console or platform you were playing on, and they really want to avoid this with the release of the Division 2. I personally think it's a great move, even though I have all 3 consoles and I could just pick and choose. But it's not about that, it's about keeping the community together and knowing that we can all experience the DLC at the same time is going to be perfect. I really hope they can stick to this, and the fact that the DLC is going to be free as well is going to make it all that much sweeter. So yeah, no timed platform exclusives for the Division 2. One gripe I had with the Division 1 is that the open world seemed very dead and desolate. I know it sounds stupid to say considering it was a post-apocalyptic or post-collapse environment, but it was just such a beautiful world and not much going on in it. It was a shame I wasn't forced to explore it. Sounds like that's going to change in the Division 2, however. An article popped up a couple of weeks ago on the website Game Rant saying that the Division 2 is going to feature dynamic faction wars. Yep, let me just repeat those last 2 words, faction wars. This information comes from an interview with Chaddy. I actually met this guy at E3. He's the Associate Creative Director at Ubisoft. Now, one of the examples he gave about giving the Division 2 a more live and dynamic feeling open world was a possibility to come across different factions fighting at control points, fighting over a number of things like food, water, or medicine. And apparently these faction wars aren't just limited to the open world. These things could happen in the campaign missions as well. Honestly, this is everything I could have wished for creating that dynamic open world that I've always wanted in the Division. You've seen a lot of the gameplay already of the Division 2, and going hands-on with it, it definitely felt like the Division 2's DC was a lot more live, a lot more vibrant, and it just felt like I wanted to explore everything. Obviously there wasn't much to explore at that point, but I think you get the idea. Speaking of the Division 2 and its missions, if you're a solo player like me, you're probably wondering how much of it can be played solo. Well, you're in luck, because a lot of it is going to be able to be played solo. In an article on PC Games N titled "You'll be able to play the Division 2 solo all the way into the endgame," Matthias Carlson, a game director at Massive, had the following to say. You can play through the entire story campaign into the endgame and then including the endgame content alone. But you can also do the same content in 2, 3 or 4 player co-op or 8 player co-op, 2 full groups in the raid if you opt into the challenge that we're adding. So it's very important for us that you get the option to pick. So it definitely sounds like there's going to be a lot of content for us solo players to enjoy. Now, we don't know how much of the endgame content we can play solo, but I'm guessing it's a fair bit. I would put money on it that the raids you're going to have to require full teams, but that wouldn't be a surprise. Now, the last little bit of news I want to cover here, and I've actually already covered it in a state of the game, but it's the lore books and novels we're going to be getting with the Division 2. It was recently announced that Dark Horse and Ubisoft have partnered to bring fans a meticulously crafted and unique insight into the critically acclaimed role-playing action game Tom Clancy's The Division 2. One of the books, The World of Tom Clancy's The Division, is going to be a 192-page hardcover book. It's going to be packed with incisive lore and detailed art. It's going to bring readers into the ravaged streets of New York City and Washington DC as seen in Ubisoft's record-breaking video game series. In addition to that lore book, Dark Horse will also be bringing a comic book series that will be arriving in 2019. The release date for the book, The World of Tom Clancy's The Division, is the exact same date as the game is currently set to release. That's March the 19th, 2019. And the series of comics will be arriving in 2019, but whether that's March, we're gonna have to wait and see. So you're gonna have to wait, unfortunately, to get your hands on any of that lore that you all love so much. So I think we're just about caught up on the Division 2 news. If there's anything you think I've missed, then be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful in any way whatsoever, please make sure to leave a like or leave a comment. And if you're new around here and want to stay up to date with all the things to Division 2, then please make sure to subscribe. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.